Let's start off with broader macro conditions. For a small country like Namibia, unemployment is in the region of 51%. That's a staggering figure. Why is that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the figure came out in 2008 when we did the labor force survey a few years ago. It shocked all of us, unemployment standing at 51% in a country with such a small population. Obviously, it's not a desired figure you would want to have. There's a lot of issues that obviously contribute to unemployment in Namibia. We've had, unemployment has been a problem in Namibia over the past, the past 20 years, basically. A lot of the issues can be found, I think, in the past. Explanation of having people that disadvantaged Namibians in the past who didn't have access to opportunities, that especially access to finance and starting up businesses and creating jobs for other people. All of those things are still contributing, are still affecting us again today and going forward, obviously.
I mean, obviously, Namibia and South Africa have very similar political paths, so we understand those legacy issues. But you fast forward to 2011, and there's high unemployment. The most affected are the population between 15 years old and 34, so it's a youth problem, and particularly people in rural areas. What are the social consequences of not addressing this issue?
Yeah, you're right. A lot of the affected group is really the young people in the age group you just mentioned. Obviously, this has not only social consequences, but also economic consequences. On the social front, when you have young people out of work, then obviously that puts down the future of the country, because the young people are the future. And when a lot of them are out of job, they can't find job. Even those that have actually gone to school and have some qualification, diplomas and degrees, they're finding it hard to get a job on the market. We have seen what has happened in North America, for example, over the past few months, where people rise up, and people can only take so much to a certain period. And at some point, they rise up and say, well, something has to be done. The situation is unbearable. Obviously, not to say this might be a case in Namibia, but if a lot of the young people out of work, it's not a good indication. It's not a good situation for our economy and also for the society as a whole.
Okay, looking at the jobs report that's come out now, 600 jobs created mainly in retail and manufacturing. Why are we seeing these nominal improvements in these particular sectors?
Yeah, but you have to understand, manufacturing sector in Namibia really comprises of mineral processing. That makes up a whole a big package of the manufacturing in Namibia. Obviously, mining is one of the strong industries in our country. It has been for the past 20 years. What we saw, like for example, during the economic financial difficulties, the economic crisis of 2009, our mineral sector was heavily affected, and a lot of jobs were shed from the mining sector. But now those are good signs. If we are creating above 600 jobs in the manufacturing sector, it seems low, but I think it's a good sign going forward, because given our unemployment situation, of course. So I think it's one area really we see positive. I mean, if the manufacturing industry is bouncing back like that, particularly the mining sector, I think it's a good thing for our economy.
I find it quite curious, if you can just help me, Petrus. Retail and mining seem to have been generators this time around, and yet we're talking about 51% unemployment. So who are the consumers in a situation like what you find in Namibia? And because you're a major commodities exporter, with the volatility that we've seen in mining, the real drivers of the economy at the moment are the agricultural sector to a large extent. So there are some structural issues that have to be dealt with in this economy. So answer the consumer issue, and then what needs to be done to fix the state of the economy.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things we can do in Namibia. We need to diversify this economy. We have depended on the mineral sector for a long time. Agriculture is one sector that has potential as well, but obviously with agriculture, then you need advanced technology if you really have to add values to your product and start sending your things to other international markets. So the issue of diversity And also adding value not to what we get out of in the mineral sector, so that we get more from the international market. So really adding value and also diversifying our economy, not only to depend on one particular sector. I think it's a good thing for the economy going forward. There are other sectors that one can look at. For example, tourism is one sector that has potential in Namibia. And if we only need to market it and get a lot of tourism coming here, not only big numbers of tourism, but also the values, or the monetary values that they leave here when they visit our country. So I think going forward, we got to be thinking about how then can we diversify economy so that we don't only depend on one sector of the economy.
Right.
And also how can we add value to our product, not only in the mineral, also, but in the agricultural sector as well.